Today, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, this is the National Football League. We'll see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And we are underway from Cincinnati. Brandon Wilson to return it. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it, and sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Here we go. 180. 180.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see man coverage, you tell your guys you've got to win those matchups, because if you do, you'll get the football and probably for a nice game.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Here we go.
2nd and 12.
Right, 80. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
1st down. Here's Burrow. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Aaron Donald in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
I'm one.
2nd and 15. Here's a give to Mixon. Down right around the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
Right, 80.
Here's Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Now the Rams offense getting the football back.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, and he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. Now that'll be caught by Cup. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From just shy of midfield, Stafford throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Open man is Uzama. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Burrow will throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on 1st down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back, but boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep, Brandon Powell. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Set, 280. Yeah, let's go set coach. Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. Got you back.
Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
You can't do that, man.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Stafford. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the 1st quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the 1st drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Bengals drive about to get going. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 51 to Mike. Here we go. Ready? 51 on the mark, boys.
A handoff, running left, Mixon, shedding through the defense. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You got nothing. Like 50,
Burrow looking to pass. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Gun. Start. Can. Start.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzama. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. L.A. readies for its next possession. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Stafford. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
From the 41, Stafford. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Stafford going to give to Akers on the draw. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally, you run to set up the pass. Here, it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now Burrow on 1st down. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. There's a short one caught by Uzama. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Let's get set. Back. 180. 180.
Mixon. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Here we go. Back. 180. 180. Mike 51.
Second down and goal. Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a Bengals score. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Cam Akers and the Rams offense ready to go back to work. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Stafford on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Woods. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
First down now, but that clock rolling. Stafford. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Stafford. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow got his man complete over the middle. That's Boyd. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Here we go. Mike 51. Mike 51. Go. Here we go. Hey, can.
From the 29, Burrow. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Here we go. Big 13. Big 13. You gotta get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Ready. Go 20.
On first down, Stafford here. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Set. Lady. I'm coming after you.
Here's a run with Akers on second down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man open. It's Chase. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Get that ball. Get that ball.
On second down, Mixon, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Again, it's Mixon. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 51 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here we go. Right, 80.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
Now it's Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 2nd down now, Mixon, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Get set. Right 80. Right side.
Now it's Burrow. There's a short one caught by Uzama. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Touchdown, Bengals! It's T. Higgins with a touchdown pass from Joe Burrow. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
McPherson now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Rams ready to go on offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And his throw is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter. Thanks for tagging along with us here from the Queen City of Cincinnati. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Joe Burrow and the Bengals set to go back on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Here we go. Right, 80.
Back to throw here. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 2nd and 2.
51's the mic. Watch the run, watch the run. 51's the mic.
They'll run with Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. To Mixon on the check down. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Mixon. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Mixon. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.